Honey, just please watch the hair. Watch the hair! Hey! Not the hair! Not the hair!
I was in the theater. I was like, y'all need to stop this shit right here. Look, let me be honest with y'all. I was hungover when I was watching this, and all this screaming and hollering. I felt like I was in a room of just crazed 2-year-olds losing their fucking minds. Mark wants to strangle me so bad right now. Mark wish he could wrap a shirt from DT.com around my neck and just choke me right now.
Like most of the audience.
Yeah. He wants to choke me with a tank top, our classic shirt, the black tee with the white logo. You can join us on these live streams and subscribe to the site. You know what? You can not only join us on the shows, but you can also sit back and have the good feeling of knowing that you're keeping these wonderful shows going and spreading joy around the world.
You did your part.
Yes. Hey, you did that. Now, you can try the service out 7 days for free. If you don't like it, you can stop at any time. I ain't mad at you. In fact, I'm going to give you something. Take that audio, keep it for free. Get some more if you want. It's right over there on the table. That table's called iTunes and SoundCloud. But you're going to come back and say... I'm very imaginative, Martin.
I can't believe it's not a compilation of all this shit like that you come up with.
I gotta say, I was cracking up from the moment that I saw the first teaser for this. Adam Sandler, of course, does the voice of Drac in Hotel Transylvania 3. Drac. You know, well, his friends call him Drac. Dracula, let me give the man his respect. And some call him Dracul, but the man right here, Adam Sandler, he's notorious for making movies that are nothing but an excuse other than to take a vacation with his friends.
Uh-huh.
And I looked at this and I said, I'd be goddamn if he didn't take these cartoons on a cruise. Have you no shame? I was like, no, you didn't, man. He took these cartoons on a vacation.
Guys, I got an idea for a movie. We're going to go on vacation.
And I was like, wow, man, you know what? But I'm going to give the man the benefit of the doubt because I did enjoy the first Hotel Transylvania.
It was surprisingly good.
It was. And a lot of people, they gave it. A lot of people went in and they really criticized this movie. And I would defend this movie to this day and say that, you know, I can't say what was in people's heads completely, but I do believe it was the element of Adam Sandler coming off of a run of movies that upset critics. And they just said, no, you can't have this.
Right.
No, they were ready to like criticize him anyway. And so they panned this movie. But I thought it was really enjoyable.
Me too.
Hotel Transylvania 2, that's some bullshit, but that's another story.
It was everything you thought the first movie was going to be.
And it was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. But now they said, they
sometimes a third time's a charm.
They heard us, Martin. They said, Martin, Court, let us try to fix this for you. Mm-hmm. We don't want to hurt you like that. And now we have Hotel Transylvania 3. And in this one, Dracula, he's been running this hotel for years since we've seen him, man. And the whole time he's been living for everybody else, taking care of other people. And now he said, God damn it, it's time for me.
Yeah, I'm horny.
Yeah, I'm horny. Yeah, then movie said, I'm lonely. No, you horny. You want some ass.
Yeah.
On Tinder and everything. And so his daughter, because his wife is dead. He's tried to be respectful, but he's like, damn, this dick is hard. I got
100 years of a hard dick.
Yeah, I got to do something. Ain't nothing like 100-year hard dick, man. He's like, I got to do something.
I mean,
and so
the semen's probably dried up now.
Yeah. That's all right.
It's powder.
It's okay. You got to get that powder out too. You got to dust off his penis. But, man, the thing with him is that he says, his daughter sees him and says, I'm poor old dad. He needs a vacation. Mm-hmm. But once he meets somebody on this ship that starts to catch his fancy.
He sees that ass.
Sees that, man. I don't want to say nothing, but it's another cartoon character.
I know, man. These animators know what they do.
They know what they're doing. Another cartoon character out there that's kind of thick. But, his daughter says, you know what, you need a vacation, Dad. I'll put you out there. But she doesn't predict that on the ship, he might fall in love with the captain. This fine-ass girl right here. Who wouldn't, man? And that's where she says, you know what, I want Dad to be happy, but I don't want that. Ain't nobody taking place in Mama Drac. And Does Dracula find true love and get to keep the love of his daughter? Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer, and then we'll come back with our review, and we'll find out if this is indeed better than Hotel Transylvania.
Blobby's gonna puke.
Oh, it's a cute movie, right? I mean, it's for the kids. You can't go in too hard on this. And you know something? I like we said before, Martin, we both are in agreement that we both liked the first Hotel Transylvania.
Yes.
And I'll tell you the reason why I liked it is because it did indeed have a story. Now, it wasn't an original story, really. It was a story that I've actually seen in a few things. In fact, in one of my favorite things, I often mention this. You know, the story where you have these monsters all together in a castle or somewhere, and they're not bad people.
No.
They're pretty cool. In fact, the thing that freaks them out are human beings. Saw something like that in one of my favorite animated movies, Mad Monster Party.
In order of their appearance,
Dracula,
Frankenstein,
the werewolf,
the Hunchback,
the mummy,
Dr. Jekyll,
Mr. Hyde.
It's a movie where it plays on everybody's love of the classic movie monsters, Universal monsters in a way.
It was the Avengers before there was the Avengers.
It was, man. It had their own universe out there.
There's your dark universe.
There it is. I even read a review where somebody said Hotel Transylvania 3 should have been the dark universe. Just bring them cartoons in, man. They do it much better, you know. And the other reason why I liked it is because, besides liking that theme, I really love the artwork of Genndy Tartakovsky.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people recognize him. Genndy Tartakovsky. A lot of people recognize his work from like way back in Samurai Jack. A lot of people almost introduced to it through that.
Sure, at Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter's Laboratory or Star Wars, Clone Wars.
Oh, right.
The 2D one. You know, a lot of people love his work. And now, I don't know how you feel, Martin, but now that we are at the third movie right here, it's not Hotel Transylvania 2 for me. I don't know how Martin feels about that, but now that we at the third one, yeah, they starting to run a little light on ideas now. It's at the point where, you know, they're going on vacation. Going on vacation is what sitcoms would do before they were canceled.
Yeah, that's when they jump the shark.
Yeah,
When they've run out of ideas and what we got to do something special.
Yeah.
For this season opener.
And this does everything sitcoms do: run out of ideas, bring in a little kid, and when the kid starts to be not cute anymore, oh, let's take everybody on an exotic vacation somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's what we see these things do when they are running light on ideas, man. And on top of that, when you have a movie that doesn't have to say too much, they start putting in subplots as filler. I mean, you got things that really don't go anywhere in the movie. They're cute, they're funny bits of business, but like the kids trying to sneak the dog onto the cruise.
Oh, right. That was in there.
Yeah, exactly, because it doesn't really go anywhere.
Right.
You know,
or the werewolf couple who now that they got childcare, they get to run out and do whatever they want to do.
It was a cute idea, almost a clever idea, but didn't really go anywhere. At least for me. I will say this, Martin, and I want to say how you feel about this. You know, it running low on ideas shows in the animation too. Not that the animation is bad. The reason why I've always loved Genndy Tartakovsky is because he's highly influenced by Fleischer animation.
Sure.
You know, he even tried to do a Popeye animated film a while back for Sony. He really has a knack for that animation style of the 30s and the 40s, especially when Fleischer did the stuff like Betty Boop and as you see right here, Popeye. I love the colors in the movie. I love the character design. There's a lot of things that art-wise I really do enjoy the film. I think the animation is great, but that's all it is. It's just a string of animated gags for a lot of parts of the movie, for an idea that could be done very short.
Well, I see this as more. It has the elements, the classic Adam Sandler elements, where it's cast with the cast is made up of all of his friends.
Yeah,
they go on vacation, and I don't laugh at a single joke in this thing.
Really?
Yeah,
not one.
There was.
I heard you chuckle at something.
I chuckled at one thing, and it did catch me off guard. But then it was like the setup and the delivery. But then what followed it, the wrap up of that joke,
the execution was like there was none.
Yeah, it was none. It was just a quick gag.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the gags are tired. I mean, he's a fan of cartoons from the 30s and 40s so much that every gag is ripped off from those. There's just nothing. There's not a single original thing going on here, and there's too many characters. And I would say they've built up too many characters, but they started with a lot of characters from the first movie.
A lot of characters in the beginning. And
but in that first movie, it was mostly about Drac, and the other guys kind of played. They were supporting characters. And here you get to this point where they're trying to give everybody a little something, but it's too much. It's so thinned out. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, and you know what? And with all these characters, man, like being that it's a series of animated sight gags. They used to do that in those Fleischer cartoons. It's nothing anything different, but those were short.
Yeah, they were 6 minutes long.
They were 6 minutes long. Now we got an hour and a half here, and and we got an hour and a half of not only just animated visual gags, but all of them have the same manic tone.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's one of those things where you said the animation is great. The animation is great, but it's also not great because everybody, some of the characters are just so overly animated. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Especially that new captain. Everything she does is a kung fu move and moving around. It's like,
everybody does that. Everybody has Tourette's syndrome.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half, can't nobody talk without being distracted by something else. You know what I'm saying, Mark?
Yeah.
Shit, motherfuckers tied up by the time they done. It's like, and you look at that and it's like, man, you hardly get a chance to slow down.
Everybody, just please watch the hair. Watch the hair. Hey! Not the hair. Not the hair.
And I was in the theater. I was like, y'all need to stop this shit right here. Let me be honest with y'all. I was hungover when I was watching this, and all this screaming and hollering. I felt like I was in a room of just crazed 2-year-olds losing their fucking minds. And I just for a moment, just like, y'all need to stop all this hooping and hollering.
All this is everything Mr. Rogers warned us about. But I wasn't hungover. I was fine, and it was getting on my fucking nerves.
Damn.
Like seriously, you have to do this with everything and everybody in here. It's very much telegraphing that we got nothing. We don't really have a story. We had a schedule we had to meet, and we strung together a plot, and we just figured we'd fill it with gags, with physical gags and sight gags. And I'm sure maybe it was fun being a director and sketching out what was going to happen, but ultimately it's no fun to watch. Well, it's all the same tone.
Well, Martin, I got to tell you something, man. Because Martin talked to me when we got out, and he saw me like walk and cover my eyes from the sun.
Yeah, like you were Dracula.
yeah. I walked out like a vampire. And I even told him, I said, man, I forgot this movie was this morning. I said, I was out to almost 3 drinking with another toasty who likes to drink. And I went home thinking I was gonna get to sleep late the next day. This movie was earlier than most movies.
Yeah.
I had to get
30
up
minutes earlier than they usually are.
and it is across town for me. I had to get
that's right.
Yeah, I had to get my drunk ass up at 8:00 to make it to go see fucking Hotel Transylvania 3. And I'm sitting up there watching this movie, mad as hell. But I gotta tell you, Martin, I realized I was just grumpy because I was drunk, and when I went home and took a nap, I did recall some things I was chuckling at the whole time.
Let me know. I didn't laugh once.
They're not gonna work for you, but there was just listen. And Martin and I are gonna be at odds right here for the moment. But the movie, even though it has time to fill, has space to just kind of do whatever it wants to do, I did appreciate how at times it just did not mind just being silly, and it didn't mind being silly with this with the character design. I admit I laughed at some things, like they're on the cruise, they have these fish servants, but they're like half fish, half human, but the only human part they have are these human feet. And when I saw that, I thought every time they came on, and they were the only ones who weren't like running all over the place and yelling and screaming. I thought their dry sense of humor was pretty funny. I even appreciated some of the little gags they had, like on an airline that's controlled all by gremlins. I was like, okay, that's cute. I got a chuckle out of that. There's some things in here where it's like, I don't mind silly stuff. I know Mark probably didn't have any patience for it, but I got some laughs out of it. I even got some laughs out of the part where, of course, they weren't doing it as good as Looney Tunes, but Van Helsing, as you heard from the trailer, still had this battle going on with Dracula. And they showed some of the early battles they had. They kind of played out like like
a Wile E. Coyote
a Wile E.
video.
Coyote or Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny cartoon, which I thought, all right, you know what? As a short at the beginning of this movie, before the movie just starts to drag, I laughed at those.
I will hunt you for all eternity. Destroy you. It's the last thing I do.
You know, it was a moment where they showed him getting so pissed and frustrated that I got some laughs out of that.
See, I watched that and I go like, man, y'all had about 8 different gags like that, and not one of them was something clever or funny.
Yeah, I
Like all those chances, and they just blew every one of them.
like I said, I got little chuckles out of those. Like in the movie, I never found myself laughing out loud. I never found myself like oh wow, I'm really really enjoying this. It was like, all right, I'm dealing with it. I'm having some fun in some parts, and I realize the audience that is for, which is the kids, which I do think kids will be amused. And on top of that, I like that Dracula. I've always liked that. Adam Sandler, I think this has been one of his best performances, being Dracula. I mean, in the movie, they kept something consistent, and that is that he always cares for his family, especially his daughter. I've always liked the way they portrayed him being tender with that character right there, and that's endeared me to that particular character of Dracula. I was prepared to walk away with this, Martin. Give it a matinee. And I was looking at and thinking back to the movie. I was like, you know something? Being that it's for the kids, yeah, sure, why not a matinee? And then they had to get to the climax. And the climax of this movie, the movie's just being itself, having its own fun. And then Daddy got to walk into the party and try to be part of the cool kids. This movie at the end is pandering in a way for kids that's one of my biggest annoyances in movies, where they try to do these things and you could tell that they're just trying too hard to appeal
To the kids
out there. In this movie right here, let me tell y'all what, and this is not a spoiler. It's gonna seem like that. It is not though, but what I hate in movies is when they try to appeal to children by just throwing in a DJ. They will have this party, and Robert looking like, wait a minute, I'm a DJ.
Actually, I'm glad because there's a question about this climax I'd like to ask him.
Yeah, now they have these movies where they just throw in a party scene just so they can have some cartoon character back there DJing, and they can show the characters just dancing. So it's a win-win. The animators get to do all these crazy dances, and the kids get to see the DJs. And these cartoon characters always do the same shit. Always got that one hand on that earphone.
Yeah.
That other hand mixing or making pancakes or something, like dusting the desk. I don't know. But I know that's a thing. But they always do the same shit in the same movie. Even when the music just playing, usually look like they go like. You don't hear no noises like that. Music just playing straight, and they just over there just doing this shit.
Well, it's a variation on the shirts with Bugs Bunny dressed up like a street thug.
Exactly, man. Oh, the kids love the DJs. Let's put DJs in this. Let me tell you about, and they always have that same music. Dum, 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 dum. And it's like, come on, man. We've been doing this for years. Kids see through this. Decades. Kids see through this shit. But a lot of times, they'll show the DJ, and then they'll just walk the hell on, man, and be done with it. Mm-hmm. This movie had to incorporate that into the climax. The climax of this movie it even starts out kind of stupid. The climax of this movie is that they have to stop this lounge singing Kraken.
It's a giant kraken!
There's a place you gotta be, 1,000 leagues beneath the sea.
That Kraken's like, he's cool. God, he's kind of smooth right now.
Yeah, he's all Michael Bublé.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was into the Kraken. And then the climax of this is that they have to stop, and I wrote this shit down just to make sure I got it right, because it's kind of too stupid to even believe. They have to stop this lounge singing Kraken right here, who turns evil when Van Helsing becomes a DJ and starts spinning EDM and dubstep. Mm-hmm. He starts putting on that.
It's enough to piss somebody off.
Like, what the fuck is that? Yeah,
I don't know about making them turn evil.
They start playing dubstep. Yeah, look, dubstep is gone. I don't like it, but my eyes don't turn red, and I start trying to kill people. That's like. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man. And then they ain't even done yet. When at the moment they feel like the day has been saved and the Kraken has been defeated, everybody gets together to dance the Macarena. I'm like, what the fuck just happened here?
Because it's Adam Sandler's obsession with the 80s and the 90s.
I guess that's what it is.
He does that in every movie. He finds some way to crowbar that music in there.
I mean, the movie, as a kid's movie, I was not like, I was like, I'm going fine with this. And then it's like being at a kid's party where the drugs just kick in. And it's not
where the parents are running it. Where they're the ones choosing the music.
Kids, parents, everybody's on some shit. And it's like, what the fuck happened? This is not right.
I'm curious. Miles, you ever been in a DJ battle?
Once.
Okay, so that is a real thing. Now, did you ever, in your arsenal, did you try winning by playing the Beach Boys?
No.
Oh, because they do that here.
I forgot they did that.
Yeah, he's like, wait, I know how to fix this. And he puts on a Beach Boys record.
Oh, they gave that Kraken, so they gave that Kraken some good vibrations. And he cracked. He was like, "Ooh, where am I? What happened? Is that the Beach Boys? I love that band." You know,
the last part of this movie, that's just part of the climax. There's so much shit they just pile on. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore.
Yeah,
this is not where we started at all.
No, this is I wasn't like Martin. I was like, I was a little soft on it. You know, I'm there for the children, and I'm probably not gonna go as far as Martin with my rating, but you know, the kids were dancing to the Macarena and everything. They seemed to like it, whatever. But I can't. What was once what was going to be a matinee is just rent this at home. Shit, the kids ain't gonna tell the difference. You know, for the kids that this is like geared towards, they ain't gonna know the difference unless they are just getting on your goddamn nerves and you have to take them out somewhere and you need to take them to this movie. But if they ain't asking for Hotel Transylvania, you know what? Just wait for the video to come out. Shit, put on Hotel Transylvania
That's
too.
True. Nobody was really asking for this movie,
and it'll probably be a hit. And I know that there are some critics out there who are really liking it. Like on Rotten Tomatoes, this is 70% at this moment. 71. I don't understand how people are letting that climax slide like that, but it's a rental for me.
Yeah, people do that. I honestly, for me, with the second one and this piled on top of it, I feel like this franchise has gone. It's gotten so bad that I'm embarrassed to even say I like the first one. That's how I felt coming out of this one. I mean, for me personally, it's kind of some old bullshit, but I do recognize that it's still pretty and it's still good for little kids. So I would give it a low rental.
All right. We're not too far from each other. You know,
but it was painful. It just reminded me like, oh yeah, a lot of times these Saturday morning animated movies just tend to not be good at all.
And I'm in there drunk.
No, you were drunk the day before.
No, I was drunk that morning too.
I'm drunk right now.
Yeah. Watching goddamn blobs do the Macarena and shit. What the I was mad. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, they just never got tired of repeating the same gag with that blob over and over again.
No, they didn't, man. They had time to film, man.
No shit.
How many babies does blob have in the movie, man? Yeah. Oh, well, you know, like they do it for the children.
And it stops to have a whole music video with Drac walking on the deck of the ship. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Wait, how long is this gonna go on?
Yeah, they played the whole Bruno Mars album.
They did.
Yeah, like all right, shit. I guess we got time. 24 karat man.
Y'all don't have a script you need to get back to?
Yeah, Drac.
Honestly, it starts out cool and it just goes on and on and on. I was like, you gonna play the whole goddamn song?
Yeah. Yeah, this shit right here. Hey, look at it. Yeah, it's right here. And, 24 karat man. Even Bruno Mars like, man, cut that shit off, man.
Hey, come on, write me a check.